This is Kal Kat, the Kal Catster, and my voice is kind of coming back a little bit. Just in time for GalaxyCon Day 1, Friday. Yeah, so we have, so I went to Friday at the GalaxyCon to attempt to get my tickets early. I already had the tickets. I intended to register early. And waited in line con, as I always do. The locals at the thing would know. Kal Kat's in line con. He's wearing that Star Trek blazer again, and he's got that cowboy hat. Cowpoke is there, and he's wearing a mask. He's right over there. Oh my goodness. So yeah, he's there early. What the heck? Oh yeah. So because there was an announcement that it was going to be Saturday and Sunday. So we have a so we have now the convention happened first in the line con. There were a couple of pseudo right-winger dingbats behind me that was similar to that other convention years ago, but there was no comment to them because I was trying to avoid coughing on them because they had whatever that thing is going around. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So, but yeah, it's a little bit better now. So yeah, I had a mask on. A lot of people had masks on. I wasn't the only one. Yeah. You didn't want to catch the con plague. I was actually giving the con plague. And so yeah, it's a typhoid there. No, it's not cold. It's been lingering around like for a week. It stopped production on the Star Trek thing. I was doing the second movie, and it can't possibly be a contagious cold anymore. It's just there. It just yeah. Obviously, if I do voiceover work and fan film, I can't do voiceover work if my voice sounds like Mr. Sudo from the Star Trek. Doesn't make sense. But it is much improved today. So I go to the convention. I'm in this line con. Line con is then moved over, and more lines show up. At first, there was almost no line at all, which you'll see in the video footage. I'll have to dub over the audio for the video footage because there was some noise in the background. Music. So we get up to there's a line for the tickets and the registration. The registration, people say, "Oh, you can't get your 2-day pass early," which is probably kind of a racket. You can't get your 2-day pass early. You have to come back tomorrow. And then I was like, I don't want to do that. I came all this way out here. They don't know how far I came out here. Granted, they're Floridians that are running the convention. They have no idea how far away I've traveled. I'm not going to give them a long spiel. They don't, yeah, penises. But yeah, but anyway. So next to that line is another smaller line for like paying for the registration. There's nobody, hardly anybody in this other registration paying line. And I'm like, well, there's got to be some other way to go around that. And it come to me as if Mom was standing there and said, "Why don't you go into that other line over there and just register for today as well? Just extend your pass so that it's 3 days instead of 2. They should be able to do that." So I go over there and I asked that. I said, "Why can't I just okay, we got a thing for a 2-day pass. It's in my phone here. Make it a 3-day pass. They'll expand it. How much is that to come today, Friday?" So, "Oh yeah, you could do that." Yeah, because they didn't want to. There was people behind me. They didn't want to stink. So there. So they didn't just kick me out or anything. No, they said no, yeah, it's $15 more in cash. I had $15 more in cash. And they were probably surprised that I had cash on me. I gave them the cash. Yeah, so. And I got a 3-day pass. So. The 3-day pass was followed by another wait in another line to get into the dealer's room. That's which they didn't call it the dealer's room there they called it the exhibition room. So there were many jokes and wisecracks about expositioning by some of the males in the crowd. Exposition room, really? What are they going to do in there? That was kind of funny. Well, hopefully not with you guys. Yeah, I don't want to see that. But yeah, there's the exhibition room. Although the half tranny guy with the funny hat, I kind of want to see that. Yeah. So we were waiting for the line to open up, and comes around about 2, and then they open it up. But it took them until like 2:15 to open up the room. Everybody gets out their cell phones to try to film something, and there's like, no, not yet. No, not yet. And then the people came out to start talking and introducing the convention. None of their mics worked. So they're like, oh yeah, welcome to the comic convention thing. It didn't help that apparently they also had whatever this is going on. Their voices were shot. Yeah, they're great. But yeah, so we had, so we got into the exhibition, and there was a lot of things in there. Not as many as you would have at a Fanime, or at this is sort of the pseudo replacement for Adam Savage's Silicon. That's kind of what this is. Kind of. It's kind of in the same slot as what Silicon would be this time of year. That would be Silicon, the end of the summer. Silicon. So it's kind of in that same slot. So they weren't there. They did have the race car from the other thing. They brought the race car in there, so you can see that. The race car's in there. So they have that from the other story. The anime race car. Now they also have they had the autograph section crammed in there with the exhibition sellers and the artist alley. All of them in the same. And you know the main hall, if you open it up, spread out the sides, you can put everybody in there, because they wanted to use all of the upstairs halls and none of the downstairs ones for it, which is an efficient way to do it. Now there were people online complaining about the I guess there was a Raleigh one, North Carolina, and another one before that. They're very poorly managed. Those two. I would say from Friday so far that it's not really all that poorly managed. I think the problem with it is that their employees aren't trained very well to organize the lines. That's kind of the issue with that. But as I suspected and predicted, and even on Friday, they're going to have these Star Trek panels and people showing up. They announced this convention less than a month ago. They should have announced this convention 6 months ago, like they do Fanime. In fact, they are announcing Fanime 2025 now, like it's next May. They're announcing it 9 months in the future. Oh, it's a Fanime, 2025. Go there now. They're talking about it now, and it's August. 6, 7 months away. It's like August, September, October, November, December, January. 8 or 9 months later. Yeah, so get ready to go to Fanime, next May. So you have late in May. So you have so it's efficient enough. They didn't have tables outside. I would say that upstairs. There's supposed to be tables upstairs. They moved those over. They moved the gaming to another room. That's fine. They turned the front of Artist Alley into like the family room kind of thing for the families. I didn't even go in there. Maybe I'll go in there tomorrow. Then they have like I'm assuming it's just like a lounge. That's where the lounge is. So they moved the lounge stuff in there. That's why there's no lounge stuff on the main floor upstairs. But they do have the tables set up by the concessions. The food is way too expensive. Eat off-site. No, don't eat in the convention. Go off-site. It was $6 for an apple juice. That's ridiculous. Eat off-site. I ate off-site at the iguanas. I really did. The iguanas. just a beef and rice thing. For dinner just now was a Togo's meatball sandwich, but that was later after I got back. So, well, I literally took the Uber to the Togo's. So yeah, the panels that I saw. This is Friday. Panels I saw were likely not going to be on Friday. So other 2 days. So it's a good thing I went. I noticed that Nicole DeBauer didn't appear that she's going to be there the other 2 days. So it's good that I went. I said, oh, Nicole DeBauer. I was looking at the schedule in the book. It's a little different than the schedule you get online. It's changed. She's going to be there at 5 or 6. 5 to 6, yeah. So, I definitely have to see that. That's Dax from Star Trek. Yeah, so, so the hero, I was basically in the hero, the hero hall was originally the Stanley Hall years ago. It's the same building. It's the one off to the side where the 501st was meeting originally. Not this time. The 501st was inside in the back. They did have a neat collection of droids, though. It's kind of fun. The droids. And of course, I walked by and said, these aren't the droids you're looking for. And they went, oh, yes. I had to do that, because that's just, I had to do that. But yes, this one has a bad motivator. That one was there. The one with the bad motivator. But yes, some other droids too. So yeah, including the attack droid from the Mandalorian, the big tall one, the blaster droid thing. So yeah, so they yeah, that wasn't at the Nicole DeBauer thing. The first panel was Evan Evangario, who played Eleanor. I keep calling her Eleanor, but I think it's Eleanor. Yes, after my great aunt Eleanor. Yes, Eleanor. Because they've been cribbing from us for decades at Star Trek. Aunt Eleanor. Okay, he's dressed like Aunt Eleanor. Kind of looks a little like her. And he is. Yeah, he was interesting. I mentioned talking about how he got the parts and stuff. There was a funny Jonathan Frakes story where he was going back and forth crossing the whole studio, like running to the end of the studio to go to the thing, you know. And there was finally Jonathan Frakes drives up in his car and goes, "Hey, give a ride, kid. Yeah, where are you trying to get to?" And he thought maybe he was in trouble. He's all, "I'm gonna take you somewhere else afterward." He thought he was in trouble. He was like, he took him to this producer guy and he said, like, "Okay, just let him in, stay in the hotel room on the campus, near the hotel near the studio with the other actors, because yeah, why does he keep walking back and forth on his own? Get a cart and stuff. Yeah, ride around in the actor cart." So yeah, I did that. Also he got hired because he knew boxing and a little Muay Thai. He didn't know swordsmen. He just knew sword fighting. He's supposed to have sword fighting in the movie. He didn't. He would do a little boxing and Muay Thai, kickboxing basically. Yeah, that's not sword fighting. It's a little different. Yeah. Yeah, and he has nicked one of the swords from is it New Zealand Australian Aussie guy, and he nicked one of the prop swords. So Paramount, go get that prop sword back from him. No, that's okay. Keep it. Well, now that he mentioned it, they probably will. They'll watch the video of his performance and they'll be like, "Oh, that's who has our sword. Well, this is Paramount. Please return the sword. To put it up to auction or something." Yes. So the other guy was Robbie Clark. And Robbie Clark was in a number of episodes of the original Star Trek, Blink of an Eye, and Arena, and all that stuff. But he was in the infamous Gorn suit. He was the Gorn in the original Star Trek. He was dressed in the actual Gorn outfit, designed by the guy who designed the tricorders, Linton, which is awesome. the Gordon suit, and he said the eyes, when you look through it, the eyes were actually the nose, and the weird eyes up here, they were like above his head, so he couldn't see through those. So the nose is where he looked through. But yeah, they were asking him how he got up Ayers Rock and stuff, and people would. I guess he just hung out at Ayers Rock so much because it's just outside of LA. It's not that far away from. Now that whole area, you can drive out there to the Rock. So next time we go to, we'll have to go out to Ayers Rock and stand there and do the whole dun 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 dun, just like everybody else did. We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that because that'd be awesome. We'll have to do that. Dun, 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 dun. We'll have to do that. So dun, 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 dun. People try to slide down the rock where it's steep, and they're going down on their butts because they don't want to run down it because it's steep. Yeah, the rock. I know that Captain Foley and Hawkins have already been there to the Ayers Rock, and they were walking around up there. And so has Jesse Jenner's also been there. A couple of other YouTubers that have been there. I don't know them. I know of them having been there. Okay. And yeah. So, and the guy said you have to be as a stuntman, you have to be intelligent and sometimes stupid. When you do something crazy and foolish, it'd be a little foolish. Be intelligent, a little foolish, and stupid. It's funny. Yeah. Then we get to the fun part with the strange coughing guy that kept moving his seats. And then a cold about. Yeah, you're gonna actually see Friday Kal Kat in the hat, in the mask, GalaxyCon picture thing, and on the Friday footage, the coughing guy is probably Kal Kat in that scene because the coughing guy kept moving. Yeah. He was coughing on one tour occasion there. Different thing. And moved away from the camera equipment. Yeah. I thought at first I was waiting for something, but I wasn't. And then finally I moved to the back of the auditorium in that one, just because there weren't a lot of people there. And I sat in the back, so in case I had to cough again. I had a mask on the whole time. And, yeah, so Nicole DeBauer one was, yeah. So, yeah, she's a treasure. She's fun. She's yeah. She's a character. I don't think I ever saw her at a convention before. It's kind of interesting seeing her at a convention. Not very tall. Very, very, very petite. I think she had high shoes, but she's very petite. She's in Cube and a number of other productions. I think that she's, I'm going to say a little younger than me, but not by much. I'm going to say that, yeah. I won't give away her age, but you know what I mean. Yeah. She'd be in the Lower Decks crew, the Wesley crew. Just say that, yeah. Because now the Lower Decks crew would be in their 50s. So yeah, I just gave it away. I'm in my 50s, but she might not be really. She'll pretend she's not. Oh no. But yeah, so she enjoyed working with the Deep Space Nine people. Deep Space Nine, they liked the What We Left Behind story, where the movie that went back and reflected on it. But they weren't necessarily talking about that awful 8th season thing that the writers were dreaming up. This could be the 8th season. They were talking about the show and bringing back the characters to talk about the show. That part was fine. But that awful 8th season narrative was not fine. No. And it isn't that, oh, my fan film did something else with the Ezra Dax character. Not at all. There's a parallel universe where Locarno is involved with Deep Space Nine, and he's not involved with Deep Space Nine. So, yeah. Although she did mention it was a little awkward that she was with Bashir. Didn't want to say it's because Bashir was dating Nana Visitor. She didn't go there. She didn't go there. And they had a kid and stuff. She didn't go there. It's a little awkward, a little different, yeah. Ooh, she was kind of mean to Worf. Because he was the ex. Because of the symbiotes. Yeah. Because she got changed into the other ladies and the symbiotes. Yeah, she couldn't have continue her relationship with Worf. It wouldn't work. She didn't say anything about continuing her relationship with Bashir, although in the role in the RPG, she's apparently continued that in that one timeline to match up with what we left behind. But Nog did not die in the other timeline. He lives long enough to have that ship and fly around in the game. So yeah, and in ours, yeah, there's a chimera because that is actually us messing with though. That wasn't them borrowing the idea. That was, we knew people on Star Trek Online that are no longer there that put the chimera in the game. That was, they got somebody else to design it, somebody else to put it in there. Well, not to design it, somebody else. But yeah, so that's different. So she didn't know anything about that. That was not mentioned at the story. That was not part of it. She wouldn't know anything about that. She mentioned stories and reviews and things and her history of coming from Canada and all that stuff, and her stepfather and her used to watch Next Generation, and he was a realtor. I guess he was a realtor. He went from living in the basement to going upstairs. It's kind of funny. Canadians, they're very, very outgoing. I don't think she ever got angry at anything. Entire time. There was yeah. So the early on though, which is funny. Early on, the host guy, who's kind of a Will Wheaton, it wasn't Will Wheaton, but it was somebody like that kind of personality, kind of gregarious, con-going, car salesman, con guy personality with a thing saying, I'm not the host, I'm the moderator, don't make me like the moderator. And he's like, okay, don't ask her any questions about your shipping fiction. He literally said that. And of course, not to miss a beat, coughing Kal Kat gets up from the center row and moves over to the back. That guy was going to ask about shipping fiction. No, it wasn't that. It was coughing. But it's like, oh no, that guy's going to ask about shipping fiction. I'm going to find out what his shipping fiction's about. Yeah, oh, that was funny. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to almost spoil the moment there. But that was funny. Because I was like, wait a minute, what's that guy doing? And it came back and I was like, oh, I was just coughing. Don't worry about it. I'll go back there. And he's all like, you sure? Are you going to ask about shit? There weren't that many people there, so it was funny. There weren't that many people in the audience. Like I predicted, there wouldn't be that many people. This convention, even though there's probably in the lines going in, there was probably 1,000 people. But that's just it. There was the 1,000 people from Friday circling around all over the place. So in each panel, they had maybe 40 of us. That's not a lot. 40 here, 40 there. For Elnor, they had maybe 12. Of course, nobody knows who that guy is. Eleanor, whatever. But yeah, for the stunt guy, they had maybe 50 people, barely in there. And then for Nicole DeBauer, they had a little more. A little more. Some of them came in later. A little over 50. Which is a good size. After a while, I see. They wouldn't even have noticed me after a while. This was all earlier on in the panel. They wouldn't have noticed me at all getting up in the shipping fiction line. Had there at that point only been a dozen people in the room. Then when there were more, they wouldn't have noticed me. They didn't notice me. So that was funny. Oh, so somewhere on this, so if you watch the video, they'll be they're laughing at the guy in the audience. It was me. Oh yeah, earlier the Fairmont has become the Hilton for the past couple of years. I think it's a Hyatt now. It's all blocked off. And I needed to bust a slash. I needed to take a wee right after I got from eating dinner, about noon. So I go into the Hyatt and all the upstairs is blocked off. And there's an escalator that isn't blocked off. So I go upstairs to the halls and stuff, and they're blocked off. They're apparently going to do something up there. They're getting ready for some other convention, separate from this one, and I find a restroom up there, And it wasn't roped off, so I went up there. And find the restroom, come back, go down. I go down like the back stair entrance where the Mario guys were. One of the Mario guys, years ago. Down the side entrance, and the side entrance is blocked off. So we gotta turn around, and there's like a guard standing there. He's like, how did he get in there? Turn around, get around. I don't know. Oh, okay. And I go back toward the lobby, to the edge, not to the lobby, but the edge, there's an overhead walkway, but I never got to the walkway because that was blocked off. So I went around, and I'm downstairs, underneath the walkway, like near the exit. And there's another person going this way and that way, and somebody in the valet was going that way, and I just went out the side entrance under the walkway, you know. But it was funny. They're what is he doing? The sweet shop reopened, by the way. So that is pretty much Friday, and my voice is coming back. Nice. All right. So, kind of coming back. Well, it better be, because my fail's tomorrow. Why did I do that? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. But yes. Not really. No, I'm not on their venue. I'm an attendee. I'm kidding. But I'm sure Kal Kat will bring things up tomorrow. And the next day. And yeah. So I'm gonna watch the footage that I filmed on my brand spanking new iPhone 15, and we're gonna see what that film footage looks like, and I'm gonna narrate it because Clint Cowpoke was there, the whole time. And slash. Oh yeah, before I'm out, I gotta. There was another guy in the Nickel panel, very similar to the Terry Farrell one 20 years ago. 25 years ago, during next Deep Space Nine, before Ezra Dax, 1996, yeah, 30 years ago. Wow, 30, holy shit, 30 years ago. All right. So obviously Nicole DeBauer has to be well over 30, right? Yeah, so obviously. She said, yeah, well, but I'm over 40, and now I can't get as much work in Hollywood. She is a... She does have a cameo, though, in... Oh, that's lovely. She has a cameo in the Matlock remake. Ooh, you heard it here first. She has a cameo in the Matlock remake with Kathy Bates as Matlock's descendant. That actually sounds kind of interesting, and not that's a stupid idea. That sounds kind of interesting. All right.